Hey guys, welcome back to Oddly Satisfying Games. I'm Joe, and it is time for my first impressions review of Immortals Fenyx Rising. Since I've been playing the game for about 6 hours or so now, I wanted to go ahead and throw my hat in the ring and give my first impressions of the game, especially since some of you have been asking my opinion and whether or not I'd recommend it. With that said, let's get straight into it. Right off the bat, I just want to say I love this game. I think right now, so far, it's so much fun. So that's what you came for. Just a basic sum it up. I'll give it to you at the beginning of the video. Feel free to take off. Don't even feel bad about it. However, if you do want to stick around a few minutes longer, I would love to talk about just a few of the reasons why I love the game so much. Jumping right in, number one is the combat. I love the combat in this game because it's fast, it's fluid, responsive, and it's very, very satisfying. If you don't like any of those things in video game combat, then you will not like combat in this game. I like that when you press a button, whatever it is, Fenyx actually performs the action. Now, I know that sounds like to some of you, dude, that's what's supposed to happen. But if you've been playing video games for more than 5 minutes, you know that there are games out there that are not responsive. You press a button and it's very laggy, doesn't do what it's supposed to. That is not the way with this game. And I'm not even playing on I'm not playing on a PS5. I'm not even playing on a PS4 Pro. I am playing on a standard PS4, and the game runs very well. And you can definitely feel that in the combat. Also, the parries feel really good. The visual feedback you get from parrying and from the combat is wonderful. It's very satisfying. You hit the parry button. When you get that parry, you know it. You know, when you fill up the mob's stun meter, there's a stun meter below the health bar. When you fill that up and he goes down, not only does he splat on the ground very obviously, but there's a nice blue explosion that goes off. So there's no question, and it just your effort to be very engaged in the combat is rewarded. Still talking about parrying, I love that you can parry projectiles and those just go right back at the enemy. They come in very handy for taking down airborne folks. Unparryable attacks. Now, I know that that's not a word, you English majors watching this, just bear with me. But right before those go off, there is a very telltale sign for when that stuff is coming. So if it's like an animal type enemy, when they're about to do an unblockable attack, the whole body glows red, so you know what's about to come. If it's a humanoid type enemy, it's whatever limb is doing the attacking. So if they're going to punch you or kick you, whatever it is, that will glow red. Now, you still have to be on your toes, but it gives you a great heads up for what's coming your way. Also, when you finally do take down that baddie, that last hit just sends them sailing off into the cosmos. I mean, you hit them and they just go flying, man. And it's such a satisfying feeling. The next thing that I love about the game is the world. As you can see from this video, it is stunning. And also, the world is easily traversable. They give you things right off the bat, pretty much, that help you get around the world, like wings, like these what do you call them? Bracers or gauntlets. One on your wrist for super strength. You get super speed. These things you get right away, and they increase the ease of world traversal exponentially. Also, very on, you get the ability to tame a wild animal for a mount. That becomes super useful. Now, all of these things, though, with the exception of riding your mount, consumes stamina, which is not a huge deal. You know, if you run out, you just wait for it to replenish, unless you're flying. Now, if you're flying and you run out of stamina, then you just free fall to the earth, and there's fall damage. So, you know, I don't think I have to say anything else about that. You know, but if when you're flying, keep an eye on that stamina, and you make sure you use that last chunk to do a dive bomb to the earth, then no problem. You hit the ground, everything's good. Not spending too much time there. Usually, I'm not a big open world guy, because one of two things ends up happening usually. I either lose the story due to the billion side missions, and then I get bored and I quit. Or the world is so big, Just Cause 4, that I feel like I'm never going to finish the game. So those two things usually deter me away from open world games, but it's not the case in this game. The world feels the appropriate size. I don't have a problem staying on track, and the game so far just feels really, really well done. Anyways, moving on. Number 3, weapon upgrades. I recently tried to fight this mini boss called the legendary Boar, Slayer of Adonis. He's an early game mini boss, but I had weapons that I had not upgraded yet, and I was utterly defeated. So I left, and then I went and completed a couple of side missions. I collected enough resources to upgrade my weapons one time, and when I went back, it was a much more reasonable encounter because you felt like your weapons had been upgraded. You could see the difference when you fought. You could feel the difference when you fought. It didn't feel like such a hopeless losing battle. Now, you weren't OP, or not you, I wasn't OP. I didn't just smoke the mini boss after one upgrade. It wasn't that way at all. It still felt very balanced, but I also felt like I upgraded. It's like when I played Assassin's Creed Odyssey, I felt like I was always on the hunt for a better weapon because I never felt like I was always trying to keep up with the enemy level progression. Like I was never one step ahead. I was never this big bad Greek warrior that I was told that I was going to be. So, but this game, that's not the case here. You upgrade your weapons. You feel like you upgraded your weapons. However, being open world, if you stray into areas that you're not supposed to be in, you're going to get your booty smacked. That's just all it is. The last big thing that I love about the game is the humor that's in the story. The story in the game is very good in my opinion. I'm not going to rehash it here, but I am enjoying it. If you want to know what the story's about, just head to part 1 of my Let's Play and give it a watch. Let's watch it. Take the journey with me. I think we're going to have a really good time. But I think what really sets this story off, what I think separates it from being just, what stops it from being just another pretty good game with a pretty good story, is the way the narrative is delivered and the way they employ their humor while telling the story. So I'm not going to ruin anything for you. So if you want to know about what I'm talking about, head to my Let's Play and let's do this together. I find myself actually laughing at the story all the time, laughing out loud. I think the writing is just fantastic. So anyways, with good comes the bad, and these are not really bad things at all. Like, I was just trying to give cons, so I really had to think about this. The only real con I could come up with is the health and stamina regen consumables don't replenish. Like a gourd or something like that. They're in the world and you have to find them. Enemies don't drop them. You just have to find them. The health regen in this game is called pomegranates, and they're just hanging from trees, or you find them in baskets here or there. So you actually have to go out there and look. If you're low on health regen or health replenishing items, you know what? I'll just call them pomegranates because that's what they are. If you're low on pomegranates, you got to go find them. If you're low on the little blue mushrooms that replenish your stamina, you just got to go find them. I haven't found any merchants that sell them or anything like that. So the plus side is your health outside of combat does replenish itself, and obviously so does your stamina. So it's not a huge deal. Again, I just thought I would present a con for you. The number 2 was a little easier to come up with. That's platforming and puzzles inside the vaults of Tartarus. So I'm only a few hours in. The game hasn't really had a lot of opportunity to show me a variety of puzzles and platforming situations, but the ones I have seen are pretty repetitive. Anytime I go into one of the vaults, I pretty much know what to expect. I know it's going to be some variation of pulling levers, interacting with these pulpit-looking things that produce large boxes or boulders that I have to, move around or throw or use to trigger pressure plates or something to that effect. not a whole lot of variety there. And since a good portion of the game occurs in these vaults so far, clever and creative new puzzles wouldn't have been, such a bad thing. So, wrapping up, as I said, I have many more hours of gameplay before I can render a fair and well-informed opinion of the game, but if the beginning is any indication of the rest, I think that we are in for a good time. So what I'll tell you now is, my official opinion for now is the good far outweighs any perceived bad, and I am thoroughly enjoying myself. I think by the end, I will be able to give this game a strong recommendation, even at full price. All right, guys, that does it for this video. I appreciate you stopping by and listening to my rambling. I will see you again soon. Don't forget to check out the Let's Play. We're only a few parts in, so it won't be too hard for you to catch up, and I will see you then. Peace.